vision is something you can see. It helps everybody understand how to get past hurdles, over barriers. But vision is absolutely critical. And leaders are ones that don't let things get in their way. And if you think about the barriers, the challenges we face just a regular workday, what it's all about. Without the vision, without that beacon that we reach for, it's very, very difficult. So that's the first one. So as leaders sitting here, and everyone does not have a handout. This is all in your handout. So if you don't have one, we'll make sure you get one. Allison will help you out. So let's make sure you have a vision. Let's make sure you are determined to achieve this vision. And when I say vision, I talk about things related to where you're headed, what you want to achieve, what you want others, how you want others to see you as a leader. Second one is all about humility. I'll oftentimes throw in different books that I've read. If you've read Good to Great by Jim Collins, it's been out for many years now. He talks about level 5 leadership. And one of the characteristics in there is humility. It's not about you. It's not about you as a leader. It's about other people. It's about achieving for the organization. And when we make it about ourselves, people don't want to follow that. It'd be great. It's great to be a leader, but if you turn around and there's nobody behind you, you're not much of a leader. There are leaders, and there are those who will follow leaders. And I don't call them followers necessarily, because followers can be leaders in their own right. But you have to have people who are going to follow you. Leaders will follow other leaders. It does not make them followers. It makes them somebody who understands and sees the vision of where they want to go. But you have to have a certain level of humility. And it says egoless. We all have ego. It's really being in check with what your ego is all about, and making sure it does not overwhelm what you're trying to achieve. What I like about this one is it doesn't say I'm going to motivate somebody. If somebody's not motivated by something, good luck trying to motivate them. This inspires the commitment and the motivation that's already there. Now, if you do a lot of the right things as a leader, you will drive that commitment. You will inspire that commitment. But a big piece of this is understanding what motivates an individual. Well, it's different. Every single one of you in here is motivated differently. And sometimes it ebbs and flows based on the day. But we're all motivated in a certain way, whether it's about connection, it's about achieving something bigger than yourself. It could be success, and yes, even sometimes it's money. But money's not number one. But it is certainly a motivator to a certain degree. We all have are there any college loans in the room? Maybe a couple? There you go. Right. So there's a certain motivation there. And yes, money is very important because we need it to survive, but it's not why we're motivated typically. And if leaders understand that, they'll recognize how to get the most out of people. Being an organizational and social architect is simply this. Your company, your organization works in a certain way. Information flows, decisions flow, work flow. You have to understand how it flows. And the biggest barrier to things flowing well are human beings. We get in our own way. Through our beliefs sometimes, through our attitudes, through the way we behave. And we always think we're trying to do the best. But sometimes my best and your best don't meet at a common point. We're at odds with one another. And what leaders do is they recognize, how do I build an organization that flows well, and we eliminate a lot of the barriers that get in the way. Great companies will do great things, but you need great people to ensure that you do that. And leaders pay attention to the great people and how they work together, and that's the social piece. Because we are all very social, and we're all emotional beings, and the emotional piece gets in the way. As much as the tough guys in the room who think you're not emotional, you are emotional. You just don't show it. You've got to have positive beliefs about yourself, about people around you, about the organization, about what you're trying to achieve. And it's beliefs that affect attitudes. Just take a second and think about who are the people in your life or maybe who just you know today, you might say that person has a great attitude. Or on the other hand, boy, this person over here doesn't have a great attitude. You might even say they have a negative attitude. What drives attitude? It's how you think about yourself. It's how you think about other people, what people can do, achieve. Critically important that leaders, and it doesn't mean you're blind to reality. It doesn't mean that at all. I don't want people running around thinking everything is rosy when it's not. I like reality. I like objectivity. But you have to have a positive belief that no matter what happens, you're going to achieve and you're going to help others achieve because you're going to run into serious issues. It happens. The world changes, which means your company is going to change and you have to change with it. But you have to figure out how you want it to change through what you believe is important. And then you have to build trust in an organization. Trust is by far the number one element in an organization that will dictate whether it's successful or not. And we're going to talk about that this session. What does that mean? How do leaders do that? How do people do that? But if you build a foundation of trust in your organization, you can overcome anything. Challenges, conflict, your ability to innovate is all the ability for people to work together, trust each other, and to succeed together. But you can't do it without trust.